marketplaces is another sort of abstract construct that I think can be obfuscated in many different directions, specifically given the, where we are. And what I really want to focus on for this conversation is value creation. For whom, what value, is it measurable, et cetera. And I think I'm starting with Julian because obviously, Julian, what you don't have a shortage of is supply, right?
Accurate. And
where I keep spiraling is in our world today, because the marketplace literally should enable and ease a transaction of some sort, right?
Ideally.
So the causality of creating a marketplace for me, I keep hearing a couple different potential causalities, and I'm sure it's a mix. But one is because I want to create a walled garden and I want to protect it, so I have to create, own, and operate my own marketplace.
I mean, that's one way you can go about it. I don't know necessarily that that's specifically a marketplace at that point. If you're a singular walled garden, it's your own marketplace.
But well, if you have tonnage, it could be, right? So
sure.
The second is I want to be able to buy inventory using data, and the sellers aren't able to allow me to use my data to buy it. So it enables me to buy more intelligently. And the third is I need more reach. So somebody's got to do the work of aggregating.
So there's various things to unpack there, right? The first is the purpose of a marketplace. Ideally to create value for the people participating in the marketplace, buyer, seller, as a very simplistic example of that. Then we're talking about data, right? So for example, we participate in OpenAP. OpenAP is a marketplace where you take the data and you have like your custom data, and then you apply that to multiple publishers, right? And so there's a marketplace available there. Now that's one semblance of a marketplace, and there are many marketplaces in the market. There is no, for example, addressable marketplace. Like that doesn't exist holistically, because that's a fractured environment, right, in terms of what data is being used. Then there's ultimately, what you're getting out of the marketplace in terms of value, right? And that value is either scale, it could be reach, it could be that you have some attributable value that you could bring, or ROI, right? So really, ultimately, because there are so many different variations of what a marketplace could be, the question is where are you investing your dollars, or where are you putting your supply that's advantageous to you as a business and advantageous to your clients?
And so what's that criteria when you evaluate, especially if you as your brand are going to allow someone else to, and I'm assuming in premium TV we don't have a lot of blind repping, right? Like you're going to allow someone to rep, to actually have your inventory.
Unlikely to happen. To the point of the question, that when you think about the value that you're going to get in these marketplaces, or how you think about creating them, or how we might approach it, right? Intrinsically, you're in the business to make money, right? So you want to create a marketplace so that you can receive some value out of that. But I think some of the theme that we've talked about here, and something I brought up in an earlier conversation, the collaborative function, right? How we collaborate as an industry and how we think about creating marketplaces as we collaborate is just as important, because ultimately we need to enable the marketplace to function properly. And when you're thinking about which marketplaces you're going to join and how you collaborate and why you're going to collaborate, it is ultimately to the benefit of your clients. And that's why you want to do it. And I think ideally there's both a selfish kind of scenario of making money, and there's an altruistic value because you want to present value to your clients.
Well, so it's interesting because I kind of have like two sides of my brain that were stimulated when you said that, because you said enable to function properly, and what I heard, that was code for somebody needs to provide adult supervision.
I don't know if it's necessarily adult supervision. I think that it's a mix of, tech, because tech I think you need for that enablement. I think you need some level of standardization, because ultimately if you don't have that standardization, it's the wild, wild west. And that comes together to kind of help formulate the structure of the marketplace.
So as a premium traditional linear, you have an anchor business where you make a lot of money right now in traditional linear television.
Sure.
Right?
And continue to spend.
Reach frequency, and you will continue, it'll be your anchor tenant for a long time to come. So what role does a marketplace play in your your sales channel product mix?
I mean, marketplace is very important. Again, we were a founding member of OpenAP. We probably do more advanced TV than most, because we believe in what it is, and we believe in how to make that work, and we believe that that's a value for the market. And within the structure of that, we think that it makes sense to kind of create multiple opportunities for different ways to kind of invest with us. If you want to invest with us traditionally, we're more than happy to do that. If you want to invest with us in an advanced way with data at the center, we're more than happy to do that as well.
Do you need a middleman or woman to enable that for you?
I think there's no scenario, and we talked about it otherwise, there's no scenario where you can operate in an advanced way without having some middlemen involved. Like, there's no scenario where that doesn't exist on some level, whether that's onboarding, whether that's a data provider or whatever, or some level of technology. So you're going to need some third party involved. Now, what their role is variable depending on the market, and who they are is variable.
How do you want to pay them for the work they do?
I mean, people should be paid for the work they do.
But do you want to give them a vig? Do you want to? Is it
I mean, that's
volume?
ultimately
volume, value? Like, what do you think is this? What do you think builds a long-term sustainable
there's
economic
no
model?
singular answer to that. I think the simple answer is we're all in the business of trying to kind of make money, right? Whether that's the advertiser trying to sell more product to make money, whether that's an agency serving the advertiser, whether that's a publisher selling their inventory. So the simple premise is we all have to find a way to win. The value chain should be everybody needs to win in that process. That's inclusive of that third party. They need to be valued and they need to be rewarded for the service they provide. The structure of that, whether that's a rev share or whatever that is dependent on how you negotiate your deal, right? So I don't know that there's a singular answer that I should be paying you a CPM, or I should be paying you a rev share, or I should be paying you a flat fee. I mean, ultimately, what makes the best economic deal and what makes the best for both parties is a negotiable point that you're going to do at the point in time where you're structuring your relationship.